Hello again, my little conscripts, and welcome to another Mordian Glory video. In today's episode, we shall be taking a look at another Imperial Guard 10th edition datasheet. And once more, we will be diving into the epic world of Warhammer Legends with the Elysian Drop Sentinel. And I'm just going to say it, if this thing wasn't in Legends, I think it would be broken. If you're a competitive player, if you're a competitive guard player, you need to start lobbying Games Workshop to get this thing back ASAP. Because it's absolutely brilliant. It's a Sentinel that can deep strike. And it's got the war gear, weapons, and abilities to really make the most of it. A bold statement indeed, I know. I'm going to have to back this up. So without further ado, let us mount up. And then, because we're in a drop sentinel, deep strike right into this thing.
Attention, guardsmen! The Commissariat has detected you have not yet liked this video. Do so immediately, or else you will face the Emperor's wrath. And anyone who has not yet subscribed to the channel will be transferred to the penal battalions. That is all. Move out!
As is tradition, let us begin with a cheeky gander at the drop sentinel's stat line. The Drop Sentinel has got a movement of 10 inches. Now, normally I like to go into a whole big thing about the movement and what that can mean for a unit, because movement wins games. But with the Drop Sentinel, it's not all that relevant, because you're probably going to be deep striking it, because it does have that ability. Now, I know we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit here, but it's worth mentioning. So yes, whilst the Elysian Drop Sentinel can move as fast as most of the guard units, most of the guard vehicle units, it can keep up with scout sentinels, and it's faster than an armored sentinel. Truth be told, we're looking at this thing's movement through the lens of deep striking onto the board. I suppose it's always good to know what the movement value is, because if on the off chance this thing survives after it's done its job from deep strike, it will be able to start running around and causing a nuisance for itself. But when we take a look at the defensive stats, you'll see why I say if it survives. It is toughness 6 with a 3-up save and 6 wounds. This is 1 toughness less than a scout sentinel and 1 less wound than a scout sentinel. In fact, I believe, not including the Cyclops demolition vehicle, I believe this is the lightest vehicle in the guard motor pool. It's even lighter than a Centaur light carrier. But you know what? I'm totally okay with it being more stripped down. At the end of the day, this thing is meant to be deep striking. And I quite like that the stat line is somewhat immersive to that function. It's got to be a bit lighter so they can actually get it in the sky to then drop it down. As for the rest of its stat line, leadership 7+ and objective control of 2. Very normal. So the best way of thinking of this thing in terms of its durability and movement is that it is a stripped down scout sentinel. It is absolutely going to die, probably even to small arms, probably even to spare firepower, but we're not too worried, because we kind of see this unit similar to how we used to see Scions. Drop down, smash something, and then die. So let's see what its weapons and war gear are and see how good it is at doing that job. So Elysian Drop Sentinels only come in single model squadrons. So you can't take pairs of them like you can with Scout Sentinels and Armor Sentinels. I have to admit, I was kind of hoping Games Workshop would drop the ball here, because Sentinels used to be taken in squadrons of 3. And I was kind of hoping I could take 3 of these things in a unit, but sadly, that is not the case. So these things are actually even more limited in terms of their squad size in comparison to regular Sentinels. Each Drop Sentinel comes equipped with a heavy bolter and a close combat weapon. And for your war gear options, you can give them a hunter-killer missile, which you might as well do. It's free. You've heard me say this about hunter-killer missiles 100 times. Just slap them on every single vehicle that can take them. The big thing, though, is what you can swap out that heavy bolter for. And honestly, I don't think you should ever take the heavy bolter. The heavy bolter is a long-range Dakar weapon, and this thing is going to be dropping down and getting up close and personal. You've got a choice of a heavy flamer or a multi-melter. And for my money, I would go with that multi-melter every single time. Now, there's a whole bunch of reasons why I'm saying you should take that multi-melter. Firstly, it's got the bigger strength, it's got the bigger AP, it's got the bigger damage. It's just clearly the punchiest of the weapons here. But the big thing is that because the Elysian Drop Sentinel can deep strike, the shorter range of the multi-melter just isn't an issue. It's just going to drop in and be in range to start melting. Quick side note, and I don't want to go off on this tangent too much, but it is important to note that you can't put a Sentinel Chainsword on an Elysian Drop Sentinel. That's just not an option. It has no business being in melee anyway, but it's just important to note. So the loadout for your Drop Sentinel should be Hunter Killer Missile and Multi-Melter. Now the Multi-Melter is already very good because of Deep Strike, just getting it where you need it. It starts getting absolutely bonkers good, and this is what I think makes the Elysian Drop Sentinel broken, potentially, with the Meteoric Descent ability. When this model is set up on the battlefield using the Deep Strike ability, it can perform a Meteoric Descent. If it does, this model can be set up anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 3 inches horizontally away from all enemy units, but until the end of the turn, it is not eligible to declare a charge. Now, we're not bothered about not being able to declare a charge, because as we said, it's piss poor in combat. And it is also important to note that this has now been FAQ'd, where anywhere it says you can deep strike within 3 inches, actually you can only deep strike within 6 inches. But 3 inches, 6 inches, it doesn't matter, because the multi-melter has an 18-inch range, which means that its half range to trigger its melter ability is 9 inches. So regardless whether you're using Meteoric Descent un-FAQ'd or FAQ'd, doesn't matter, you're dropping this thing into melter range. That is so good. Bear in mind that this thing has both the regiment and squadron keywords. So when it comes in, it's not going to be a problem to get it an order. Sure, it can't receive an order in the command phase, but there's loads of times when you're going to be putting officers in reserve, and then when they come in, they can issue an order, all of that good stuff. So this thing is going to be dropping down. It is going to be in melter range. It is going to be hitting on 3s with a 2-shot multi-melter, and it's also got the Hunter Killer Missile on top of that. It's just going to come in and it's just going to smash one. It's going to have the potential to pop an enemy vehicle. If it, I know it's not likely, but there's a possibility that this thing could drop in, it could hit with its shots, it could wound with its shots, and it could be doing 2d6 plus 4 damage, or 3d6 plus 4 damage if you take into account the Hunter Killer Missile. Now, sure, what if just one of those shots go through? Let's say between the multi-melter and the Hunter Killer Missile, you get one multi-melter shot through. That's still d6 plus 2 damage. You get a little lucky, got a command point reroll there, you could do a real big spike of damage in one go. And that's just from the perspective of one of them. What about if you had all 3 of them? Now, these things do come in at about 80 to 85 points. I think it's 85 points for them. So that would be a little expensive. But 3 Sentinels dropping down, unleashing 6 multi-melter shots and 3 Hunter Killer Missile shots, all with hitting on 3s. I think that genuinely has the potential to just pop an enemy tank. Just pop it. If it's not an enemy tank, it absolutely has the ability to drop down and just start liquefying enemy elite infantry. And we're in an elite infantry meta, and we've always been in a vehicle and monster meta because this is 10th edition. And we've not even taken into account that these things have the squadron keyword. So if they're in a combined arms attachment, then you've got lethal hits popping off as well. Truth be told, I don't think I'd be saying Elysian Drop Sentinels were broken if it wasn't for the fact that they got Meteoric Descent. That is such a powerful ability when coupled with the multi-melter. It's so damn tasty. Now, if this thing could only deep strike 9 inches away, I don't think it would be anything to write home about. But the combination of the multi-melter, deep strike, and meteoric descent, and the fact that you can get 3 of these things, and the fact they get easy access to orders because they've got regiment, and the fact they get lethal hits against everything because they've got regiment and squadron, all of that added together, I can definitely see competitive guard players, if they could get their hands on this thing, competitive guard players using 2 or 3 of these things as a staple in every list. Well, at least that's what I think. But of course, all of this is just like my opinion, man. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Do you think the Elysian Drop Sentinel has some real potential? Should Games Workshop bring it back to satisfy the competitive community? Or do you think that it belongs in Legends and it might be too powerful for competitive play? Or do you think that it's just a Metal Sentinel and it's not all that much? I think it's really good, but let me know what you think down in the comment section. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to never miss an episode. Would you like to know more? If so, then please consider becoming a channel member or patron. By supporting the channel, not only will you be doing your part, but you'll also be helping me create more content for your viewing pleasure and unlocking a whole host of perks. You get everything from a badge next to your name, custom emojis, but the big one is access to the Mordian Glory Discord server, an online community with almost 2,500 active members. It's always popping off in the MG Discord. We've got channels for army lists, hobbying, tactics, stories, and even a pretty spicy meme section as well. For all you greenhorns that wanted to see the Mordian glory hole, today is your lucky day. And joking aside, I do want to say a massive thank you to all of the current channel members and patrons. You guys are amazing. Truly the lifeblood of the channel. I could not do Mordian Glory full time without the incredible and generous support of my members. So thank you guys so much. And last but certainly not least, I want to say a personal thank you to all of my top tier Patreons. These are the War Masters, the people who have truly gone above and beyond the call of duty. So a heartfelt thank you to Redfield, 32, Jurgens, Miasma, Try Again, Bragg, RJ, Scorpion, Bonbon Vert, Lord Pryor, Nicholas Walsh, John Stubbs, Guardian, Varney, Sword, Fish Trombone, Picklock the Forged. Seriously guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Your support is incredible and it makes a huge difference. Thank you so much. That's all for now. Hope you've all enjoyed today's video, and of course, as always, see you guys next time.